welcome everybody to episode 10 of Disney with the Ducks. Live from the Duck Studios, we've got Kevin, Jeff, Carly, Mean Gene, and John Kroll. We're here to talk to you today about unpopular Disney opinions. So we asked a few weeks ago in the Facebook group about what some folks' unpopular Disney opinions are, and today we'll go through and we'll either confirm that you're right or tell you why you're wrong. So we'll have some fun with it today. Hopefully no one gets upset with the discussion as we go through it. But yeah, so who wants to go through the first item we have on the list?
Well, I want to kind of start with, I made this post and I had no idea that we would get the feedback that we got. Like, I mean, sometimes, you get like 20 people commenting. This one got over 100 comments. And everybody is very passionate about Disney, but they're also very passionate about what they hate about Disney. So I thought that was really interesting. So I am happy to read the first one. The first one is from Laura Walsh, and she says, while I like Rise of the Resistance and think it's a good ride, I don't think it's the best ride ever and prefer several other Disney rides over it. And I definitely agree with this. I think Rise of the Resistance was very anticipated, and it's got the Star Wars backing for sure. All of you Star Wars nerds, Gene and Kevin. But I think there are some rides out there that are better. Some of the classic rides for sure.
I think technologically Rise is way out there compared to a lot of the other ones. But there's other stuff I prefer more too. So, and I think Rise would be better if it always worked the way it was supposed to all the time. There's so many moving parts to it that there's some parts that just don't seem to stay up and going. And I think that kind of draws back a little bit of it, but that's just me.
And to me,
go ahead, John.
I was going to say, it's not even my favorite ride in Galaxy's Edge. I actually prefer Millennium Falcon, which I think we talked about a couple episodes ago. But yeah, so I agree with Laura. While I think it's an awesome ride, it's not even my favorite ride in its own land.
Yeah, I rode it for the first time back marathon weekend in January, and I was talking about this with a friend at dinner tonight. I purposefully kept myself in the dark. I didn't watch any videos. No spoilers. I knew nothing about it. I didn't know what to expect. So there wasn't a lot of hype for me, except that it was Star Wars. I knew that it was, I didn't know anything. There were some that were impressive about it, but don't get me wrong. When I go in April, I'm sure going to try to, get my pass ticket, whatever you want to call it, for Rise. But it's just not. I was a little underwhelmed by it. I also prefer Smugglers Run.
Kevin, how about you? I know you're a big Star Wars person.
Yeah. So I love the technology used in it. I love the story. I'm more of an old school Star Wars fan, so I'm personally I would rather it be based on the original trilogy or maybe some new story from a different time, but technologically, it's probably the best ride I've ever been on. But like you guys, I love the Falcon, and I would prefer that as long as I'm not the engineer. So I have to be that every day. I have to be the engineer every day. I want to be a gunner or a pilot.
Yep,
that makes sense.
Okay, all right. The next one, Michelle Van Winkle mentioned that turkey legs make her want to vomit when she sees them. Honestly, I couldn't agree more. I think they look nasty. Those things are gross. They're big. People carrying them around in 90-degree weather. I'm like, dude, I don't want to see that. I don't want any part of that.
Right. And I am far from a vegetarian, but I feel like that's not the unpopular opinion. I feel like there are way fewer people who actually enjoy those turkey legs.
The one good thing about turkey legs, I like to whenever you see like the little 4-year-old kid walking around with a giant turkey leg that's bigger than they are, and they're just like gnawing on the side of it. That's fun to watch.
Yeah, like one of the Flintstones.
Right.
It's one of those things that whenever you're starving and you go up and you say, I think I'm going to get a turkey leg, you get it, you take a few bites, and you're like, why did I do that? So that was a bad idea.
Regretting all life choices.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't know that I've never ordered one at any of the Disney parks. I'm not gonna. I never would. I mean, it's not that I would never eat a turkey leg. at a Renaissance festival, you're kind of supposed to, right? But not
Right.
at Disney World.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, so Jenny Berger said she does not like the regular Dole Whips.
That's my girl.
No, Jenny, you're wrong. I'm sorry.
And I know Jenny well enough that I think we can say that you're wrong. Although I will say the Dole Whip with rum is definitely the way to go if you've got the option.
I think honestly, Carly, anything you add rum to, it makes it better. So
Yeah.
Dole Whips are no exception to that, right?
Well, and that's exactly what Jenny said underneath. She said rum makes everything better.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So Jenny, we're on the same wavelength here for part of it, your answer, but
Right.
I know from my knowledge about Disney World, it might seem that I've never been before, or I've only been a few times. I've actually been quite a bit, but a Dole Whip is one of those things that I never had before this last time. And I got one and it was fine. I mean, it's one of those things that if I never had another one, I'd be okay. I'd be okay to have another one. It's just kind of, whatever. It's not that great. It's not anything that like I'm writing home about. It's not like a Mickey waffle or anything. You know what I mean?
I think
Dude.
you have to have it twice, honestly.
Maybe so.
The very
Okay.
first time I had it, it was at Disney, and I was like, it's okay. And then we went actually to the Disney Indie Meet that they used to do in Indiana, and I had it because they had it set up, and it was, don't laugh at me.
The Disney Indie Meet used to be in Texas, but they moved it to Indy.
I didn't know if people knew that would refer to as.
I thought it was an independent meet. I didn't know.
Yeah.
See, thanks for the
Right.
safety.
The indie film culture meet.
Yeah, like Indie Rock.
Anyway, I had it at the Disney Indie Meet, and it was actually really good. And then I started craving it at the parks, and it's way better on Disney property because, the atmosphere. But
Well,
try it
and-
a second time, Gene. I think you might like it better.
All right.
try
okay.
the swirl with the vanilla ice cream mixed in with the
Yeah, that's
pineapple,
good.
and that is delicious too because it kind of offsets a little bit of that pineapple flavor, but it's just so good.
I'll try to.
Mhm.
I love pineapple too. So okay.
And also you could try the citrus swirl, which is newly back at Magic Kingdom. So
I'll never remember all that, but I'll.
I like
Okay.
that.
I'll
like that.
write you some notes, Gene.
Kristen Lappin, she agreed with your thoughts on Ogas. She says, I've never seen any of the Star Wars movies. Frozen 2 is so much better than the first Frozen. I don't own any Mickey ears, nor do I want to own any Mickey ears. And then she said, I take that back. I do have Marathon Mickey ears. So there's a lot there. But what'd you say about Ogas, Carly?
I am
recap
not
that.
a fan of Ogas.
Okay.
I think it's overpriced. I think it's, it's very cool to go once, but they don't have
Mhm.
seating really, or a lot of seating, which is
Or food.
annoying. Or
Yeah.
food.
Right.
It's just very overpriced drinks.
I'm waiting for Kevin or Gene to go off about the Star Wars movies.
Right? That's you get the popcorn here.
I'm patiently waiting.
I'll tell you, I was just going to skip over that, but I mean,
Yeah.
you bring that up. Kevin, what are your thoughts when somebody just says, I've never seen any of the Star Wars movies?
I really don't know what to say. to that.
It's speechless.
I'm
I'm
bewildered. I mean, are you communist? Did you grow up in Russia? Did you,
It's a good thing she's married to Ben.
Yeah.
what is that? I love them too. And I'm just joking, obviously. But like, have you seen that Kimmy Schmidt show where she was like in a bunker? Like, it's a Netflix comedy where she was in a bunker for like her whole life, and she is rescued. And she's part of like a cult, and she comes out and is experiencing the world for the first time. That's what I think of when somebody says they've never seen Star Wars.
It's like
How have you never seen Star Wars?
Kristen,
feel like
have you
whenever
been in
he
have
gets
you been
thawed
in-
out from the ice.
Right,
You give him a
exactly.
list of
Same
things
thing.
to do. Like Star Wars, Marvin Gaye,
Yeah.
that kind of stuff.
I do totally agree with her on Frozen 2, though. It is definitely better than the original. I really like it. I like the music
Yeah.
way better.
That, and if you're going to have a set of Mickey ears, the marathon ones are the ones to earn.
They're the ones
Yeah.
that
So if
That's
you're
the
gonna
same
have
ones
one
I
set-
have.
that's the only ones I have.
Yeah.
Me
Yep.
too.
So
Hmm.
next up on the list, Alexis.
You're not even going to attempt the last name.
I know I'm going to mess it up. So
It's Deidinger.
I-
This is so cute. She's like one of my former students. So
wasn't she also a college?
she was
program?
also in the college program at Disney.
So
Oh,
she
cool.
has a lot of personal experience there. But her husband, Zach, his hot take is week-long Disney cruises is greater than a week in a park. And hers is I don't know if it's technically Disney, but Rainforest Cafe on property, or that she loves the Rainforest Cafe on property. She has never had a bad meal there. So I don't necessarily
Interesting.
disagree that a week-long cruise is
Right.
much worse than a week in the park. So I think it's just a different style vacation.
I want them both.
I've never even been on a Disney cruise, and I
No,
would
neither.
probably agree with that.
Yeah, I've never
been on a cruise, but I mean,
Aw. Gene, we have to get you on a cruise.
I know.
We'll work on this. It should be a ducks cruise.
Well, we're rich and famous. You know how like bands will have a cruise or what? We'll have a
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, and
right.
people
Yeah.
will like want to have dinner with each of us, and
Right.
that'll be
They
like
will
their
flock.
Yeah.
to the
And we'll be
cruise
ship.
so
I
exhausted.
mean.
because
Migration.
Everybody's trying to get our time, and we can't even relax because we're just it'll be just like that.
Oh, boy.
I
I'll be
don't
kicked
know
out
that
by
I've ever
then.
eaten at the Rainforest Cafe, though.
You're not missing anything.
No.
I didn't think so either. It's like typical chain restaurant food. Like
Yeah.
it's not terrible, but
Right.
I didn't think it was great.
You pay for
You
the
know?
atmosphere.
But then there's a monkey above you moving, and something's, there's mist spraying and, all that kind of stuff. Typical Disney type stuff, I mean, that's what it fits,
Gotcha.
animatronic stuff. You don't like that though, Carly, do you?
I don't like large
Right.
creepy eyes.
Yeah.
Right? I feel like there's a T-Rex cafe with
That's
big
different.
giant
Dinosaurs.
animatronic dinosaurs that creep me
Mhm.
out. But I'm gonna have to try Rainforest Cafe. I feel like we've got to give it a shot at least.
All right.
Isn't that in like the parking lot of Animal Kingdom?
It's at
Yeah.
the entrance to Animal Kingdom. There's two of them actually. There's one in Disney Springs, and
Really?
there's one at the entrance to Animal Kingdom.
All right.
And they're in malls sometimes too.
Yeah.
So there's that.
Yep.
You don't even have to go to, there's probably one not too far from you in Cincinnati or something,
Okay. Well, I'll try the one on Disney property. So why not?
All right.
Oh, it's me. I'm up.
Yeah.
All right. Katrina Lee says, I don't like Dole Whips unless it has rum. I mean, we all agree. It's okay as long as you like the rum ones. She also put, I don't like Mickey bars.
I don't disagree
John
with her.
is shaking his
I don't
head.
either.
Yeah,
Mickey bars
I don't
melt
either.
way too fast. That chocolate's too thin. It goes all over the place. If I'm
I
going to
agree.
have one, I'm going to have a Mickey ice cream sandwich, not a Mickey
I like the
bar.
sandwich.
No,
I like
No.
the sandwich better.
the Mickey bars are an iconic treat that you have to have every time you're. I have several every trip.
Really?
Sometimes I'm even double fisting them because one of my kids will get one and then they'll be like halfway through it, like, oh, I'm gonna throw up. So then I'm like, all right, I'll take it. And all of a sudden I've got two of them and I'm in
Right.
heaven.
Right? And they're both melting down your hand.
Yeah, and it's beautiful because then you're standing there in line and you're like licking your hand like some type of crazy person. People look at me like, what the heck is with this guy? Yeah, that's me.
Well, this is good news for you, Gene, because I think John just moved up on the list of who we're kicking off the show first for that comment. So I think you're safe for another week, Gene.
I mean, we just kind of do like this, don't we?
Can we talk about Tyler, Katrina's husband, also put a
Yeah.
comment about Space Mountain as a torture device for
I
tall
agree.
people? Yeah, it's 100% true. I cannot go on that ride without my back
Absolutely.
completely getting like.
And I'm not
Misaligned in
tall,
bad
and
ways.
it still kills
Yeah.
me.
I'm not tall either, but nothing makes you feel like a fat blob, like trying to get out of Space Mountain at the end. Like,
You need like a shoehorn to like just pop you out.
I just feel like I'm trying to get my park bag. I'm trying to get me. I'm trying to like stand up and not look like a cow. And it doesn't matter. I just look like a bumbling buffoon. I can't.
But do you ride it? You still ride it anyway?
No, I hate that ride.
Not usually.
Okay.
She doesn't.
Okay. You
I don't
avoid
like-
it.
anymore.
I don't like the dark. I'm 40 and I'm scared of the dark. Judge me. It's fine.
No judgment.
I've come to terms
Unlike
with it.
y'all, I don't judge you.
I don't like the dark, so I will completely bail on Space Mountain. I let Jeff and Riley do it, and that's when I get some alone time in the park.
John, you left off Tyler's most important take on that is the Gaston cinnamon roll. He calls it just a dry yeast roll. I agree wholeheartedly. Gaston cinnamon roll is overrated. If you want the best cinnamon roll in property, it is actually in the Animal Kingdom. So check that one out.
It's actually, they have it in Magic Kingdom now too. The Mickey one. They have it at Magic Kingdom, I think, at
The
the
Starbucks.
Starbucks location.
But
So
the real one is in Animal Kingdom still.
yes.
And this has been a proven debate that I won last summer. So, but
Okay. All right. Well, next we have Rhonda Lee made a comment that she loves Small World and needs to ride it several times per trip. And honestly, I agree with Rhonda. I also love Small World. It's a great ride. It premiered at the World's Fair and then moved to Disney. It's just, it's classic Disney, and it goes through all the togetherness of the world and the kids singing. It's perfect. I don't know. I don't see how people can't like that ride.
It'd be so much better if you had a bucket of softballs that as you're going through the boat ride, that you could just knock over the little dolls and they pop back up for the next boat that comes through.
That would be pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I think Bill Mitchell does a nice job of backing her up here. He said there's so much Disney backstory. How could you not love it? Mary Blair,
Yeah.
Alice Davis, the Sherman Brothers, and a World's Fair. So yes,
I
Bill,
completely agree
for
with
once, I completely agree with you. You're never going to get that statement again, Bill. So take it.
I know all those people. I completely agree.
We'll send you cliff notes later, Gene.
So I'm just gonna say this, and you can cut it out if you want to, Carly, if you need to. But I do love the Small World ride. I'm not gonna ride it several times, but I love it. It's iconic. But there are a lot of stereotypes, a lot of tropes in there, and I'm just wondering how long before that is gonna have to be changed. Somebody's gonna demand that to be changed. I don't know. I'm just saying.
That's true.
Yeah.
The first thing that needs to go are the geese.
Oh my gosh, Jeff hates the geese. Like, so in the very last room, the white room, before you get to all the
Oh,
goodbyes
yeah.
and all the languages, there's geese on the right-hand side. And all you hear the entire time is like,
Quacking. Yeah.
and we always get stuck there, and it puts Jeff's teeth on edge, and I giggle. I giggle so much. All right.
Kevin, you want to read
All right.
this for Norman Channing?
So the next one is from Christopher Channing. The festivals at Epcot during the night are running the park due to too many adults acting like it's one big frat party.
I don't know. I don't disagree. I mean, I love Epcot, and sometimes I'm one of those people. That is
You see
the
both
part
sides?
that is the park where I tend to drink. But I will say that's also the park where I wouldn't let Riley and her friend last summer roam by themselves, because there are a lot of inebriated Epcot goers at that
That's
park.
okay.
And you do you, but I do get that frat vibe sometimes.
Yeah, I do enjoy having a few drinks at Epcot too, but the problem is I don't know how these people do it, because those drinks are $15 each, right? I mean,
Right.
I can have like two, and then my
Oh,
wife
I
starts
know.
yelling at me about spending too much money on drinks. So I mean, that's the problem for me is they're just so expensive. But I can see what he's saying though. There is a lot of people especially on a Friday or Saturday night. You've got a lot of people that have clearly been overserved, walking around and like kind of stumbling, and I'm not shy with my kids about, they've seen me have a few drinks and stuff, but I don't want them to see people stumbling around and that type of thing. So,
Right.
I agree with him that it is it's causing a bit of a problem.
Yes.
So Jeff, are you advocating for a drinking plan similar to the dining plan?
I'm okay with that.
I'm just wondering.
As long as the Joffrey's carts are included in it, I'm good.
Right.
I think those are the underrated drink places in Epcot.
I think we do have to mention though that Jeff never drinks, like maybe once a year, unless we're at Disney, and then he gets a couple beverages in Epcot, but two for him, and he's ready to fall asleep. He's just kind of giggly and then ready to go to bed. So he's not an expensive date.
All right. Next up, Gene, you want to go through Julie's comment?
I can, yes. Y'all, I thought y'all were both I really did think Jeff was so Julie Banwart says that I don't care for the Enchanted Tiki Room.
Gene, that's the one with the birds over in.
I'm very familiar with it. I love the Tiki Room. I love it. Why? I don't know. It's silly. I just love it. It's just, it just reminds me of old Disney.
That's right.
It's just a throwback to me. It's nostalgic. I think it's cool. I understand why somebody maybe wouldn't like it, but I personally do like it. So I'm not hating on you, Julie. I disagree.
So you know what? I'm going everybody's going to send me hate mail. So I love the Tiki Room. However, here's my unpopular opinion on that. I actually liked
Under new
the
management
under new management version with Iago from Aladdin.
and Zazu.
And
Mhm.
I really liked it. I thought, I mean, obviously it brings in more Disney IP, and I know not everything has to be licensed characters, but I thought it was fun. I don't know.
All right. Ray Pilgrim says Spaceship Earth is boring.
Right on, Ray.
Nah.
I agree.
I agree too.
This nice slow moving ride with Dame
fall
Judi
asleep.
Dench narrating you can't beat that.
Yeah.
It's
It's
there for the
relaxing,
air
for
conditioning
sure.
for me. It's,
Yeah.
get out of the sun for 20 minutes and just chill. That's really all it is.
And when you
Yes.
tip backwards and you go through in the stars, it's a great place to just close your eyes for a few minutes. You can't beat that. Come on, guys. No?
No.
No.
I just think it's
Sorry.
relaxing too. I mean, again, it's one of those things that I don't go as much as you guys do. And when I have the chance, it's nice and relaxing. You get a break from, all the hustle and bustle, but it's not something I have to do.
Yeah, I could nap. It's a good nap ride.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Megan Brower says polite pig meats are overrated. The sides delicious, the meats not so much. And this Flight of Passage is better than Rise of the Resistance. So I don't know that I disagree with her on either. The sides at Polite Pig, I think, are incredible.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not much of a pulled pork, brisket, rib kind of person, so I could take it or leave it. But those Brussels sprouts are killer.
I enjoyed the brisket and the turkey both I've had there, but the sides are good at Flight Pig. So
Yeah.
I will give her that, but we'll argue on the other one. But
On Flight of Passage,
Yeah,
No,
I was
I-
gonna say, I've never been to Polite Pig, but I agree with her on Flight of Passage being better than Rise. I like both rides a lot, but Flight of Passage was something else. I mean, that was just amazing. I felt like I was literally flying on a banshee. It was awesome.
yes.
the one
I
thing
love
with-
Polite Pig. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Jeff.
No, you're good, Jen. You're good, Jen.
I was gonna say I love Polite Pig. When I went, everything was amazing to me, and the sides were excellent, but the meat.
Yeah,
It was.
I've got a
pretty great.
question about that, about the meat. So, Flat Pig, how does it compare to like authentic? Because I love brisket. Brisket is my favorite, but it can also be my least favorite depending on how it's cooked. I mean, is it pretty authentic brisket, or is it?
I feel like we are not in the right to judge authentic or not.
Right. Ohio doesn't
I thought it
really
was
have
good.
authentic-
You can ask Lonnie. We got like a board, like a thing with a bunch of different stuff, and it was pretty great. I don't remember anything I didn't like.
Okay, I
yeah,
need to
it's-
try it. I've never been there, so
Lonnie talked about it on one of our cheese and quackers episodes.
Mhm.
For sure, he loved it. So.
And hey, Kroll, I agree with you. I love Star Wars. I don't think it's a secret. Rise, I've shared what I think about Rise. Flight of Passage is an amazing ride. It's more of a ride than an attraction, like I think Rise is. And it's just, you feel like you're there. You feel like you're on a Banshee. It's great.
My one drawback to that is the 3D makes me motion sick sometimes. So I got to be right in the middle of a screen.
Yeah.
So you kind of got to watch where I sit with that one. That's the one thing it has over Rise for me is the 3D version of it that can make me motion sick.
I'll say something about that. So I had with COVID and everything and wearing the masks and stuff and putting on the glasses, I had a lot of trouble with some of the rides with that.
Mm-hmm.
Is it that same way with Flight of Passage? I mean, with wearing the glasses and fogging up and that kind of thing.
Yeah, you probably have the same issue.
And that would just make me really motion sick, especially with the fogging up and stuff. Hopefully that'll go away soon. So
I think it's gone already. It's not required.
Mm-mm.
okay.
So yep, you're
Nope,
you're
not
good
even
from now
indoor.
on. So
All right. Well, next we've got Tyler Renner coming in and saying park hopping is overrated. I mean, to be honest, I love going to multiple parks. I'm a big fan of doing as much as you can in a day at Disney. And so I really like park hopping. Now that I have 5 kids, it's kind of a big pain in the butt to get everybody loaded up into a monorail, a bus, a car, a Skyliner, whatever, and get over to another park. So, I'm starting to kind of lean a little bit more towards like, let's just go to one park and then back to the hotel. But I'll say that I love having the ability to park hop.
I am not going to disagree with this man. He is my boss. I'm not even kidding. He totally is. But no, I will say I do like the option to park hop. I wish we didn't use it as much because we went in 2020, right when they reopened and park hopping was not allowed. And it was a completely different style of vacation. It forced us to slow down, relax, take our time, and even spend more time at the resort, because when you have parks to go to, you feel like it's a waste of money if you're not like go, 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 go. And so I actually appreciated that downtime.
Well, part of it was the crowds too. You could get everything done you wanted, and
That's true.
by noon you were set anyway, so that kind of
Yeah.
helped too. But I do like focusing just on one park. I enjoy park harping too, as well. I mean, it's not harping.
Harping?
Yes.
Got a harp. It's fun.
But yes, we do jump from park to park, and it does make the day more stressful. But it's like going commando in the parks again. So park open to park close.
Stop saying go commando.
Yeah. Oh
Gosh,
man.
dang it.
Now that I know
That
you
word
did a
does not
marathon weekend.
does not mean what I think you think it means.
Exactly.
Turn. All right.
Yeah.
So mine's from Chris Walker. Says Pandora is a waste of space. Don't like the rides and don't care for the movie. And then he followed it up by saying, tear it down and build Wakanda.
Wakanda forever.
Chris, what are you doing, man? That is like the coolest area in the Disney parks to me. Like just in terms of visual, I don't know what you call it, but the aesthetics of it and everything. I love it. I think it's awesome. And I like the rides that are there too. There's good food there with Satuli. I don't know. I love Chris, but I think I disagree with him here. And I think Pandora is awesome.
But I
didn't think
Wakanda idea.
Satuli was that great, but whatever.
The Wakanda
Oh,
idea
those
would
are
be
fight
pretty
and merge, Gene. Satuli is like one of my favorite places on property to eat. Dang.
But the Wakanda
But-
idea is fantastic. But
Yeah,
I
it
think
is.
it's
It is.
on the
It
other
is, yeah.
cool.
side
That would be
in Dino Land.
Mm-hmm.
Put Wakanda in Dino Land.
But I will also say I feel like there's so much unused space in Pandora. Like I
Yeah.
get that you're supposed to feel like you're in another planet, but I mean that whole section in the middle where they have drummers set up and everything, I feel like is kind of a waste.
Yeah, but
unless,
it won't be when the next 3 movies come out, you know?
like
Yeah.
in 2097.
Right.
Yeah.
That's right. When we can actually go to that planet. Yeah.
All right, Gene, you want to go through Bill's comment?
Yeah, so Bill Mitchell talks about the Mickey pretzels. He says they're meh at best. I'm going to go ahead and read this thread because there's a lot of comments that I think are pretty cool here. Jeff Positano says, "Have you had them with cheese? I like them, but I don't like the Germany ones." Tell me a little bit more about that, Jeff.
The Germany pretzels are giant, hard pretzels. They're not good. They look good. They're the size of your face, but they're not good.
Mm-hmm.
But any pretzel is good with cheese. That plastic cheese will make any pretzel tolerable in Germany, but it makes the Mickey pretzels just phenomenal.
And Bill says plastic cheese is too good for those abominations. What? I don't know that I never get a pretzel usually at places. It's not that I haven't, but it's just not my go-to thing.
Yeah. Same.
What if those of you that have eaten them? Is there anything bad about the Mickey pretzels? Are they different
No.
than like a normal pretzel?
They're amazing. They're Mickey
Okay.
shaped giant soft pretzels. They're delicious.
Now,
Right.
I will say, like, I do have specific carts where I will prefer to get them and ones where I don't. Because you want to find a pretzel cart that gets lots of traffic so that you don't get stale, like really hard, nasty pretzels.
Yeah, sure.
So, I mean, maybe we just need to move Bill in the correct direction for a good Mickey pretzel. Hollywood Studios is always a good place to get a pretzel, right next to Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway.
But the one by Dumbo are usually hard.
Yes.
So you don't want the Dumbo ones.
No, you don't want Dumbo pretzels. Hey, so I'm curious, what do you guys think that the person that sells pretzels, are they like a pretzel monger? Is that what you call them? I don't know. Just curious.
Oh my gosh, now I want to be a pretzel monger.
Kristen Lappin says, I don't like the regular Mickey pretzels, but the cream cheese pretzels are amazing. Any thoughts on that from y'all? Obviously, I've never had a cream cheese pretzel.
I've never had them.
Yeah.
It sounds good.
Yeah, I mean, I'd try it.
Yeah, I like the idea.
I mean, I'd try anything once.
Kristen, we're gonna have to find out where those cream cheese pretzels are. We'll talk later, girl.
All right. John Kroll has a Carousel
Who's
of
that guy?
Progress needs to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, Carousel of
This-
Progress does need to go because it's basically used as a napping place and just to get some air conditioning. You know, other than that, there's no reason to go in there other than to get out of the elements for 20 minutes.
As much as you guys like the classicness of Small World and the World's Fair thing, and this was an original transaction or original attraction from the World's Fair in New York. It's the longest running show ever, isn't it?
It may be, but that should come to an end.
Somebody just needs to have the guts to say, you know what, we're taking it out.
Yeah,
But the Great Big Beautiful Tomorrow, John, come on.
I don't mind the
Replace it with
song,
Wonder.
but I mean, Carly, I agree with some of your thoughts that you've had on this ride in the past. It's a little bit dated. Some of the language
Creepy.
needs probably cleaned up. Yeah, creepy.
Real creepy.
Good way to put it,
Real
Gene.
creepy.
For the people who are wondering why I think it's creepy, there's that scene where the daughter is getting changed and somebody comes to the door and knocks and he's like, come on in. And she says, but Dad, I'm indecent. He's like, it's okay. They're friends. Just for the record, it's not okay, even
No,
if
not
they
okay.
are friends. It's not, girls.
Nobody's that kind of
That's
friend.
wrong. No. I'm not
I-
removing that.
I think we covered that one.
Okay. Hey, who are we on to?
That's you.
Oh, it's me. Jackie Hartley says, I love the tiki birds. Yay. I also love the tiki birds. So
I think you put her. Was it Julie that does not like the tiki birds? I say you put Julie and Jackie in a room together and let's have this big debate and see.
Jackie's got a good reason, though. You know,
Yeah, she does.
what did I miss? Oh, she does. That's right.
when I was talking about the tiki birds, I actually remembered this. Y'all think I don't see this stuff and I read this stuff, but I remembered this story. But I thought maybe I got mixed up and it was somewhere else. But she's got a great reason to love the tiki birds.
Yeah, her reason is it was her mom's favorite. And then they did the under new management remodel with Zazu and Yagu. And her mom absolutely hated it, like refused to go in it, cursed it when she passed by. Her mom unfortunately passed away January 13th of 2011. And Jackie says later that day, the tiki room had an electrical fire. Nobody was hurt, but they couldn't figure out why it happened. And when the attraction reopened, it was back to the original version. So she's like, that was my mom's first duty as an angel, was just take out that tiki room. And I love it.
She said ghost. She said ghost.
Okay, well, maybe potato, patata.
All right.
I wasn't. You can cut this. I wasn't saying that correct because I thought it was funny that she said ghost. You said angel and she said ghost. I was trying to be funny, but it wasn't as funny coming out.
It was fine.
All right. So next one isn't Disney related, but Craig Franklin hates Sweet Caroline. What kind of person hates Sweet Caroline? Come on. I mean, it's
Dun, dun, dun.
yeah, exactly. I mean, it's one of the greatest party songs of all time. But since that's not Disney related, I'm gonna read the next one. So Emily, she does not like the Grand Floridian. I think that's not super unpopular, right? I mean, some people just don't like the feel of the Grand Floridian, think it's a little bit uppity or pretentious or whatever.
Uppity.
Yeah, you get your monocle out and you walk through there. That's
Spats.
Or your spats. Yes.
Mhm.
Gene, do you want to explain what spats are to the rest of the world who has no idea what that is?
Well, I mean, spats. I think Kevin said that Scrooge McDuck wears them, but I mean, it's that kind of thing. Like, I don't think he even wears shoes, but he wears spats over his, webbed feet. But they, back in probably the turn of the century, I don't know exactly, but spats were like worn over shoes, and they buttoned, or I think they buttoned on the side, and I don't even know what they did, what they protected. Maybe kept your shoes from coming on top. I don't know. But football players often wear spats when they're playing on artificial turf over their cleats, and they come up, high on your ankle, and they keep the turf pebbles out of your shoes. So those are called spats too. But I'm referring to the old timey spats.
Maybe it was to make sure you didn't show off your ankles, because ankles back at the turn of the century were pretty sexy.
especially duck ankles.
They still are.
They still are.
Do ducks have ankles?
I was going to ask the
We're gonna
same
have
thing.
to
I
look
don't
this
know.
up.
Their feet paddle. They have to hinge
They have
somewhere,
to
right?
ankles. Yeah.
somewhere, right? Yeah.
But is
Yeah.
that an ankle?
Never seen a
don't
duck
know.
with an ankle.
We need to get some type of biologist or something on here, and or an avian expert, and see. We can ask them the anatomy questions. All right. So next, Kevin.
My turn.
Yeah.
Craig Franklin says, "I don't care for California Grill. I think the food there leaves a lot to be desired."
I like Craig Franklin's level of engagement here. I'm just going to say thanks, Craig. Appreciate you.
I've never been there, so I can't comment.
Yeah, I haven't been there either. It's a little bit above my budget with 7 of us going in there. That's a
I
lot
know
of coin.
Jody's been there. Jody raves about it. She's a foodie though. So I don't know. I got nothing there.
Nope.
I'll take Craig's word for it because I don't want to drop that kind of cash on a meal at Disney. So
Dipty says, besides keeping Test Track, Soarin', and Spaceship Earth only included because it's iconic, I think they should get rid of Future World and just make World Showcase bigger. What do you guys think?
I completely agree with her. I think I made a comment back to her that we need to keep Figment because and Kevin, I know you're on board with that too. Yeah. But other than that, I mean, my favorite part of Epcot is World Showcase. The Future World rides, like they're okay. I'll do them, but I love walking around the countries, trying the drinks, trying the food, seeing just the kind of like the architecture and everything in each different country. I think it's awesome. And now that they're bringing back the cultural representatives, you've got people there from the countries that you can talk to. So it's a fun
really cool
educational experience. I don't know. It's pretty awesome. I think they should expand it.
I know that show's been done by every other Disney podcast out there, but I think that's something we'll have to dive into is what countries are we adding to Epcot? So whenever Dipty's plan comes to fruition, we'll be ready to go with what countries we want to add into this. So I think that was going to be a future.
Liechtenstein.
Would putting that pavilion in World Showcase actually be bigger than the country, though? Isn't Liechtenstein the smallest country in the world?
Yeah, something like that.
see, it needs representation.
Yep, it does.
For the 4 people that live there when they come to visit.
For sure. All right. Chris Futrell says Millennium Falcon Smugglers Run is the 3rd best Star Wars attraction at Hollywood Studios. 5th best if you count Droid Depot and Savi's.
Ouch.
Wow.
Golly.
Okay.
He must have been the engineer.
I don't know. He even put it behind Droid Depot, which I think is a mega waste of space. Like so much money in junk plastic toys that never see the light of day after you return home. But
people buy them. But people buy them, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Too.
Yeah.
Just saying.
All right. Rick Forbes says, I like Dino Land USA. And this is where we kick Rick out of the group as well.
Oh, yeah, no doubt.
You like Dino Land?
No, I like to ride Dinosaur.
Oh.
And it could be rethemed to something else. And I would still like the ride itself. But Dino Land needs to go.
Gotcha.
Sorry, Rick.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one, Jeff.
Poor Rick.
All right. So Brenda Rothstein, she says she loves staying off property at an Airbnb last summer for 6 nights. And I've never stayed off property, so I have no idea if that's great or terrible. But I just love being in the Disney bubble so much that I can't even picture myself staying off site and driving in for everything.
Right. She said it was really close to some groceries. And it was nice just to get away for a little bit. And if you looked at the pictures she posted of the Airbnb they stayed in, oh my gosh, it really is gorgeous. So, I mean,
I can speak to that because I've, whenever I go down, I have family property down there. So we do stay off property quite a bit. So when I do get to stay at the park, it's a special treat for us. But I really do like staying off. The big thing is the transportation and making sure you got a way to get there and the parking. So,
yeah.
Yep.
We stayed at an Airbnb when Lonnie and I went for our first race called Marriott. And it was it was cheaper, obviously, you know, because I think we stayed on points, and we had a car because I had we rented a car. We just went in together and rented a car, and I mean, there were some perks as far as like we were able to. It was easier to just get off property because we were off property if we want to do some things. But that, like John said, there is something about being in the Disney bubble,
Right.
and I haven't stayed off property since that time, and it just seems like the right thing to do. You know, we were going to stay off property for the other park that we're going to because of the money, but we're staying on property for that too, and we're going to see what that's like. So,
All right. Next up on that list is John Crawl, and this one really surprised me a bit. He says that Enchantment was better than Happily Ever After.
No.
What?
Hey, do not
is
do
not
that.
what he said.
John Kroll, I know that guy, and he would never say that because Happily Ever After is the greatest attraction show anything Disney has ever put on.
All right.
Maybe that
And
should
he
be a
said
top
Harmonious.
I know John Kroll, and you're no John. Oh, never mind.
I know that beautiful man.
John actually said Harmonious is better than Illuminations.
He's right.
Those barges?
I honestly, I don't like it during the day at all, but when I was there on our family trip in February, we saw it twice, I think, and I loved it. I thought it was so cool. Like I liked the music, and for some reason I went into it thinking I wasn't going to like it. So I think that's a big part of it is I had really low expectations, and they may not have even beaten them by that much, but they beat them by enough that I was like, man, this is cool. I like this. I just really enjoyed it. And when we went to Illuminations, I didn't like it at all, but we had all our kids with us, and Illuminations was so loud. And we had, I can't remember who was a baby, but I think either Chelsea or Carly were babies, and they didn't like it. My son Caleb has like noise sensory issues, so he hated it. So we just didn't have a good experience with Illuminations when we saw it, but I absolutely loved Harmonious.
I don't know if it was in our group or another group that I'm in on Facebook, but somebody had commented that Harmonious to them was like somebody just had too many ideas and couldn't narrow it down. Like, ooh, fireworks, yes. Ooh, screens, yes. Moving octopus arms, yes. Water everywhere, yes. Lasers, do it. Music, okay. In every language, why not? And it was like the best explanation of Harmonious I have ever heard. Because it's just a mess. I've got to disagree with this John Kroll guy.
Well, he probably doesn't know what he's talking about anyway. All right. So Jody Binning, she says that Pirates at Walt Disney World is better than at Disneyland. That is a take you don't hear very often. I don't remember the one at Disneyland. I do love Pirates at WDW though, at Disney World. I love it. I think it's so fun. It's kitschy. It's cute. It's just a cool classic ride. But I have heard that a lot of people like the Disneyland version better. Have any of you guys been on that one?
Haven't been to Disneyland.
No. Okay. So we really can't argue with her either way, I guess. Huh?
Nope. But Michelle Van Winkle was arguing with her. She was like, hey, the one in Disneyland has so much more to it. And Jody responded that it's that jump from the New Orleans area to the Caribbean that she doesn't really understand.
They're not that far apart, really. All right.
No,
they're really not. Yeah. If you like look at the map, I mean,
you can use the Bermuda Triangle to get you there real quick.
Yeah. Right. John, didn't you have a take on retheming that? As far as
I thought we should retheme it to match what they have at Shanghai, because that one is amazing.
That's a little different. Even that's an extreme level.
Yeah, that's a completely different ride, basically.
But still, Shanghai close to New Orleans, so perfect.
They're very close. Yeah.
Just a hop, skip, and a map jump away.
On my trip on the way to Shanghai, I was going to swing by New Orleans just because it's on route, right, and just grab a couple beignets. Right. But yeah, it just didn't timing wise didn't work out.
All right, Kevin, you're up.
All right. So Becca Jane said she's disappointed with Minnie's Railway.
That hurts my heart.
I thought it was cute. It was just a fun little ride. Like, it wasn't the best ride at Disney, but I thought it was worth going on. And I mean, I paid for the Disney Genie Pass or whatever it's called, the Lightning Lane. Yeah. And I thought it was worth it. I'd do it again. I liked it.
Kevin, Jean, have you guys been on it?
That's the new one. That's similar to Rise
The
and
Minis
similar to the
Railway?
Renner
Yeah.
ride, right? Yeah.
Yes.
So it was fine, but I rode it 2 more times in other parks. So
It's not the same.
I like
it's the
it
same
okay.
thing.
I don't really. I'm maybe not the. It may not be the most popular opinion, but I'm not that big of a fan of the new Mickey, and the
Right.
way that they display the new
animation.
characters, kind of like Ren and Stimpy.
Yeah.
I'm more of the classic Mickey, so they did okay on this one, and they took a lot of that kind of gross cartoony stuff out, but I liked it okay.
We have ridden in every train car on it, and you get a different experience in each one. And I think it's fun. And we went through and looked for, there's a little crab that shows up in each scene, and we've looked for him as we go through. So I don't know. There's just something about it I think is fun. I really like that one.
I don't hate it. It's just
Same.
similar to other stuff.
All
right, Gene, you want to talk about Stacy's?
Stacy says she doesn't like the Country Bears, and look, I got nothing against the Country Bears, but I'm just saying somebody really, really smart in a previous episode suggested changing this attraction, retheming it to maybe another, a popular animated animal singing, movie theme. I think, absolutely. I mean, I could take or leave the country. I don't care. But if you change it to the Jungle Book, I'm there all day, every day.
Definitely.
I am over the Country Bears.
Any of y'all love it?
Jeff does.
I've never been on it.
What?
Yeah, it's just not something that ever interested me. And to get all of my kids to agree to waste time going in there to sit and watch it, they're just not having it. So we've never gone.
Go to YouTube and watch like a 30-second clip of any of it, and you'll be like, yep, I made the right decision.
and that's why I've never gone on it.
Yes.
All right.
Okay.
Up next is Jake Whitaker. He says most of the rides at Walt Disney World are also at Disneyland are much better at Disneyland. The Tiki Room, Small World, Jungle Cruise, etc. So again, I think you put him into a room with Jody and see who comes out.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't judge.
I can't argue this one, but that seems to be a popular opinion in general. So
yes.
Yep.
And last but not least, we've got Marlessa. She's got quite the list. Like,
wow.
I love the amount of time that she put into this. Lost in the Woods is the best song in either Frozen movie. Hands down, agree.
Especially the Weezer version, right? Didn't Weezer was it Weezer? Yeah.
Weezer.
And I love it. I think it's awesome.
It's so funny. She doesn't understand the hype around popcorn buckets.
I don't either, but we still do it.
I completely agree with her. I don't understand the popcorn bucket thing.
What do you do with them, Jeff? What do you do with them?
They get packed up in my car and they go down to the Flying Pig to visit Kevin here soon. But I don't know what you do with the rest of them.
We've basically given them away.
What do people do with them? That's the thing.
So I have a few that I've used to decorate, like store crap in.
Christmas one. We have the Christmas ones.
We have a Christmas one, like a Christmas tree that I set out at Christmas time. But really, once you've got like 3, I think you're set for life. The next one, like we're throwing down. She said, Up is not a great movie, nor is it even a good movie. It's an average film with one great scene at the beginning. Coco has the same problem, but reverse where the one great scene is to the end. That just hurts my heart. Like, you guys know I want to be Kevin, not Duck Kevin, but Kevin, the giant bird Kevin, whenever I go work at Disney one day. So that just hurts my heart.
I agree with her. I did not like Up either. It's sad and weird, and I just don't like it.
Every Disney movie,
but Doug,
bad, right? Squirrel,
right?
Yeah.
Why not? All right. She says Lion King is the worst of the early Disney Renaissance movies. So like Lion King, Little Mermaid, Beauty and the Beast, and Aladdin, and it's overrated in general. Agree.
Oh, I love Lion King.
Elton John doing the soundtrack. How do you not love that? I mean, honestly,
Those.
to be
It'd
fair, all those movies though are awesome. Like all the
Yeah.
Alan Menken
Right.
musical ones or whatever. And those were all. I think all of us are similar age, right? Those were when we were growing up. So.
Gene's not.
Well,
Gene grew up with Snow
White.
White.
silent films.
I saw Lion King in a cinema, in an English language cinema in Rome, Italy. For the
Oh
first
my
time.
gosh, that's cool.
He also saw Snow White at the Chinese Grauman Theater when it came
I
out.
was, are you making up for the fact that Lonnie's not here to pick on him?
Golly, man.
You need to
Oh,
start
boy.
giving it back, Gene.
Wow. I'm too nice, just too nice.
John, you're gonna like have a hissy with the next one. Wishes is better than Happily Ever After and Enchantment.
It's not.
I
No,
really-
I saw Wishes only one time live, so I it's not the fairest assessment for me because Happily Ever After is like that time frame when me and my family started to really love
Mhm.
Disney. So I have sentimental attachment to Happily Ever After, in addition to it being just amazing and perfect in every way. But so I don't have I have a very biased opinion on this.
But the problem with Wishes is the little girl at the beginning. You can't be a dad to a little girl and then hear that little girl start the beginning of Wishes and not have a little moment there. Come on.
Look, you're
I don't
tearing
need to
up.
go.
No.
I don't need to go.
Is that allergies?
It is.
Oh, yeah.
So now you're going to have to go watch the beginning of Wishes. And
Yeah, I'll have to check it out, but it's still not enough to put it above Happily Ever After.
Next up, Marlessa says she hasn't park hopped since she was a kid and she likes it that way. I think we've talked about that. So, little pro and con to that one. Not
That's a
sure if
fair
this is unpopular, but she misses Disney's Magical Express.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, the free bag handling and moving my family of a million people from point A to point B. It was just easy, cheap, and it always worked for us. Plus, they move all your bags, which was the biggest thing for us being, just such a big family, right? Because otherwise it's me and Katie carrying a bunch of crap while our kids stand there with their phones and don't carry
Mhm.
any of their own stuff.
Put them to work, man. She says Haunted Mansion and Splash are much better than everything else in Magic Kingdom. I am not going to argue with that one. And finally, Mickey sandwiches are better than a Mickey bar.
I think we went through that one already.
We
You know,
did.
and you
They're
lost.
both delicious, but the bars are better. I'm sorry. The Mickey bars are better.
Yes, you're licking them off of both hands. As you
Right.
line and they
As
melt.
you should be, because it's 95 degrees and humid and those things melt in 12 seconds.
Yes, totally. All right. Well,
Okay.
I think that wraps it all up.
Yeah, so that was a good discussion. I think we had a lot of fun discussion going through everybody's ideas there, and hopefully nobody's offended when we either violently disagreed with you, as I did in a few cases. But it was all in good fun, and we really appreciate everybody's comments coming in.
Absolutely.
It
Sure.
is, however, time for the unpopular, or popular, depends who you are, quacking up with the ducks. So, dads, John, you want to start us off since you're kind of taking the lead tonight?
Yeah. So, well, we're coming up to summertime, right? We've passed we're into spring. The sun's starting to get brighter and out longer. So you want to make sure you're taking care of your skin. And one of the things that I want to mention is why do bananas have to put on sunscreen before they go to the beach?
I don't know.
Because they might peel.
Ah,
So it's both a safety message and a hilarious joke.
I'm glad you're worried about my fair skin.
the more you know.
Yeah, exactly.
Kevin, what you got?
All right. Why does Waldo wear a striped shirt?
I don't know.
Because he doesn't want to be spotted.
Ah.
I like it.
You just got it.
No, it gets better just the longer you sit there. All right, Mean Gene.
What a Jedi Knights used to open their PDF files with?
Ooh, I don't know.
Adobe One Kenobi.
I'm going to use that one with my students tomorrow. They're going to hate me. Jeff?
I don't know if you guys noticed the new calendars that came out for this year, that May 31st is actually a holiday now. So if you look on that, it is the Norman Osborn Day because it's the end of May.
Oh,
Oh,
Poor
that's too
AFM.
soon. It's way too soon. Oh,
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 all right, Carly, do you have a joke for us tonight?
I do. It's duck themed. What does a duck wear to its wedding?
I have no idea.
A duxedo.
Oh my God.
Mm.
Well, wow. Okay.
They're
If you made
amazing.
it this far, thank you. Ralph,
Yeah.
how you did it.
Yeah, I don't know how you got through that last segment with us, but now that you're cracking up so hard, you probably are having trouble driving. So hopefully, if you're in the car, you guys pulled over to listen to that segment, because otherwise you're probably crying laughing at this point. Hopefully you found our jokes entertaining, and yeah, thank you for your comments on the Facebook group. So if you're not following us in our Facebook group, come and join the fun and join our flock over at Disney with the Ducks on Facebook. You can also follow us on YouTube. We're also on Instagram and on Twitter. So come and follow us and join in the conversations and get engaged with our community over in any of those mediums. Anybody else have anything for us tonight?
I think we're
Fear
set.
leads to anger. Anger leads to hate. Hate leads to suffering.
Wise words from Yoda.
And Jean.
Yep.
Thanks, everybody.
All right. Well,
Good night.
Kwaharini.
But you know, I know you well enough. I
Y'all
you
tell me when I
That's
suck.
fair.
Whatever.
Nobody holds back from Jean.
Right. I mean, y'all are a bunch of nerf herders. I don't care.
Oh,
Carly, we were supposed to all have quotes at the end of every
Yeah.
one, and and nobody else is doing it but me and Crawl.
yeah.
I've had a different one for every show.
I know you have.
I like that one.
yeah, that's a good one.
Other places.
YouTube.
Oh God.
YouTube.
Okay.
Vimeo,
Yeah.
Stitcher, Flickr,
MySpace.
Tinder.
MySpace.
MySpace.
AOL Instant Messenger, ICQ.
Aw.
Oh, I see.
Wow.
Okay.
Old days.
Yeah.
All right. Let me start that again.
I just feel like y'all were judging me the whole time.
Like I do when my mom's like, "Oh, you want some food to go home with?" No, thanks, Mom. That's great. Okay. Unless this plays, and then my mom hears it, I'm like, "Yes, she has great cooking."
That's so sad. Oh man. Grant May.
Carly, do you have one?
I do not tonight. I'm boring tonight.
Okay.
This
Should
was
I
a-
come up with one?
No.
This was a riveting segment for us.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on.
Okay.
Let me get Jeff's joke book.
Okay.
There was a duck one.
Wait.
Hold